Well, we have our next headliner in the room right now, so I want you to give her a massive round of applause. Give a massive round of applause for Neelofer Nova. Long time coming, definitely long time coming, and we finally managed to make it happen.
This one's called, Hey Man, What Do You Think You're Afraid Of? I have lost all of my relations and most of my friends. The purpose I need to serve has made it so. A solitaire wanderer, at kingside hated, a chess piece fated to this earth silver-laced umbilical cord, cell holding my soul hostage. Has Stockholm syndrome set into place to sweeten this bittersweet, ungodly embrace? Cause man, am I scared to leave my space? It's sad, I know, but I'm lonely too. The concept of a friend scares me. I wouldn't know what to do, what to say. I tell myself I have no friends. I've created this narrative that no one likes me, that I'm a burden to everyone else, that cracks form at my feet when I walk, that to feel safe I need to be alone. My brain a ticking time bomb, threatening me with casualties. The only way to save myself is to go. Is that what I'm afraid of? Not being liked? Nah, it's not that, right? It's the passive-aggressive, directly indirect, watching your voice fade out in a group you thought you belonged to. I don't speak to my siblings. I barely talk to my parents. Everyone is a potential source of danger. A danger from what I don't know. Because I know I can handle myself. I've got hands and I can regulate my emotions. Every battle I've fought, I've won. But our definition of a battle might not be the same. Going to the corner shop is a battle for me. This overarching need for safety has me rehearsing lines before I go. You know, he asked me for my name a few weeks ago. I've known him for nearly 15 years, stuck to thank you, have a good day/evening, never both. Cause going back a second time will open up room for more conversations and I can barely handle the necessary interactions. Anxious, maybe, afraid, I don't know. The people that do know me will call me a liar. They'd say I have no trouble conversing or trouble connecting. The amount of people that I've said, it's really rare for me, but I really connected with you. But if I really connect with everyone, do I really connect with anyone?
Reload that big man.
The people that do know me will call me a liar. They'd say I have no trouble conversing or trouble connecting. The amount of people that I've said, it's really rare for me, but I really connected with you. But if I really connect with everyone, do I really connect with anyone? Is that what I'm afraid of? Intimacy in any construct. I want an intimate relationship, I do want to bond, but the cry tears of weight up inside of my head stops the adhesive process and I just let opportunities slide off. Have you ever fell in love from a distance? It's so much safer if you're a good enough author. You can have them say all types of shit in your fantasies. You can make them a physicist, have them teach you about the G-string theory, followed by some quantum tunneling, and then finally...
We didn't learn that back in physics school, my brother. We didn't learn that one.
Have you ever fell in love from a distance? It's so much safer if you're a good enough author. You can have them saying all types of shit in your fantasies. You can make them a physicist, have them teach you about the G-string theory, followed by some quantum tunneling, and then finally some heat and mass transfer. Only to find out that they have a sailor's mouth. And I could be into that, but my image of you is all messed up and I think I'm in love with you anymore. Is that why I go for people that are busy? Strictly NSA, no strings attached. I would the first signs of any emotions escape as quickly as I came in. I'll stay in longer if I'm high, and I'm maybe a bit too high too much too often. But don't you go saying I love you, because you don't love me. You love the concept of me, the fragment of me that I've tailored to you. Is that what I'm afraid of? Healing fully? Is that why I keep getting sober only to get high again? I keep going round in circles, in a circle that's really just a circle, hoping it's a helical car park going round in circles but also moving forward and up. And because of that, I think thoughts, constantly thinking thoughts meant for the future me to think about, like how I want to be there when God forbid my mother dies. I want to look her in her big beautiful brown eyes and become a student again. Like when she taught me to walk, taught me to talk, taught me how to carry myself. I want to be there and learn that it's okay to let go. Because I'm scared, I'm afraid, and I'm terrified. And it's all I ever think about. Come to think of it, that's all I ever do. And it's all I ever will do until I don't. But until that time, I'll carry on thinking of ways to distract myself from thinking. In the process, I'll think about things that need me to think a lot harder, with the goal of not thinking that I'm thinking too much about a thing I think I thought. I want to be there where my mother lives for herself, because she's been living for us for the longest time, and I think we sucked all the happiness out of her. And I want to say I want to teach her how to be happy, but I honestly don't think I felt it before. I am now space years old in this space-time place world. I'm yet to find my safe space, time galore, and time again. This place has ruined my perception of kindness, first space I'm supposed to feel / hold. And honestly, I think that time is out to get me. Not if I get it first. No, I'm joking. Or thinking, not yet thought it through. But I'm always going to be the one that gets got by time and space-time and thoughts. So yeah, I am afraid. But you couldn't tell it though. Thank you.
This is called Join the Club. I tried to learn it off by heart today, so I'm going to give it a shot. But the book said, just in case. We'll see. Join the club for the hopes and dreams where creativity beams and bursts through the seams for an aching desire deep inside that screams, I just want to be seen. Join the club for always knowing you were meant for more. From the very core, a restless artist forever searching for more, for that one opening door to finally open and give you permission that you may actually take the floor. Join the club for never giving up, even though you wanted to so much. But the pain of not creating was just too tough, so you carry on, onwards and up. You dance between that impossible dream and the world where you just can't bear to be stuck. Join the club for the spoken word, taking a chance on the fragility behind your words in the hope that there is some power behind your verse. Wanting exposure but terrified of being exposed, I just want to be heard. Join the club where dreams come to die and then come back to life. In my creative life crisis, constant resuscitation is leaving me tired, struggling to cope with the constant internal work from which I cannot run nor hide, so why try to deny that fire deep inside? It burns. Forever wandering and wondering why that feeling is so deep, it gets me high, so I might as well jump, because what if I fly or fall in love with my beautiful creative soul, which is both the blessing and the bane of my life. Thank you.
And the first poem is called Guests, which is about getting ready for some people to come and visit and getting the house ready. Guests. When you gave in and let them bring a hospital bed into our home, and I dismantled the wooden frame of the large double on which most of our lives we'd slept, for the first soft nights of holding and the later splintered ones when absolutely nothing rhymed, you held your ground and said, you must have new sheets. Yes, I replied, saying to myself, new sheets for a new bed. And in my mind, a private leap, something like hope unfolded. And our child and I set out to hope's emporium of softness, and from all the synthetics, satins and cottons, in floral prints or geometric patterns, all the stripes and checks, chose the simplest pillowcases, and this quilt cover I now, after all the years between, unfurl and think how love and hope transfer into these small acts of preparation for ones that go, and later for others to come. This one's really about being out in the city and being surrounded by people and maybe just wanted to see one person. And I have to live in this world without you, and the clouds pass over this house and over the school where the children went, just the same, just the same. And I have to live in this world without you. And the cat curls up on the garden bench, waiting to come in, just the same, just the same. And the landline rings, and I pick it up, and there's just a crackle, or just a hum, or just this voice saying, "Mr. John, is this Mr. John?" And I have to live in this world without you. And the rain batters against this house, and I'm not cozy inside anymore, not now, not living in this world, not now in this world. And I have to live in this city without you. And more trains rattle over this bridge, and more feet tramp to bars and shows, and more mouths look for more to eat, and more waiters come from faraway woods with more and more orders of fresh foraged foods in forests of buildings that once never were. And the sun never sets on Waterloo, and there are stars in the trees, and rainbows in lights, and processions of faces that are not you. But I have to live in this city like this. And still the river powers on, and its black waters return to you. And I have to live in this world without you. And finally, my wife loved Audrey Hepburn. I guess a lot of people do. And of course, the song Moon River really was associated with her. And it happened to be on the other day. And I happened to be looking at a picture of her at the same time. Anyway, so this poem is about that. Moon River. Listening to it, this song, looking at your picture tonight, alone. I swear I know on this day, without a doubt, more than any time in 7 years since you left, for rainbows end without me. I never will, never can be the same. Wherever you are, dream maker, heartbreaker, are you still glad you hitched your boat to mine? Wait there. Wait around the bend. Wait.
So this poem is about the opening of those spaces. The passage is called, "If she could only open a space in her mind, a wave of bright colors would pass through, and flowers fully bloomed would grow, and green moss would cover the ground, and the river source rise, and love fill the air. The passage would soon become a garden, and the garden would become a forest, bigger and greater than Amazonia, the Amazon. And she would let herself run wild in that unknown terrain, pure joy filling her waters and deep thoughts penetrating her eyes. And just like that, she would kiss you like she has never kissed anyone before. Like a sensual beast, tropical fruits would come out of her speech, and you would feel their taste just listening to her juicy, succulent words. She would grow roots to where no one has ever dared to go. Because her mind would now be strong and green and blue and yellow and pink, she would conquer the world. And in a stillness that has no beginning nor end, the type of calmness one can feel at the top of de la Cordillera de los Andes, there her forest would gracefully stand, flooded in silence, flowing an infinite ocean of quietness. And just by getting nearby her, you'd sink in her presence, and your heart would be taken by an endless peace. and you would start smiling with your liver, with your lungs, and even with the sole of your feet. Oh, if she could only open that space in her mind, a passage so bright. And I'm going to invite you now. John really encouraged me to read a poem in Portuguese, which is my language, Brazilian Portuguese.
Let's go.
So with that space in our minds, I'm going to invite you to listen to the rhymes in another language and see what space it can create. There's a word in Portuguese that is called saudade, which is like missing something a lot. And there's no translation in English to this word, and I think there's a lot of homesick connected to saudade. So this poem is about that. Estou em Londres, mas sonhei com o Rio. Quem me dera escrever samba, uma bossa, encontrar a Gal, beber na Lapa, conhecer o Gil, dançar funk, depois voar para Recife, me banhar em Iemanjá, dirigir até Belém, beber das águas de Naná, tamarindo e guaraná. Eu gosto de você, eu gosto tanto que eu vou te buscar. 1000 milhas andarei e acabarei no sul, ao redor de uma fogueira, comendo direto do famoso pé de araçá, abrindo tal baú de prata, porque afinal prata é a luz do luar. E ouvirei histórias que não podem mais esperar, histórias dos sonhos vagabundos daqueles que só amam. That's the key.
So I just got back very luckily from a trip around California with my partner, and we chose all of the cheapest Airbnbs that we possibly could. And yes, and this was written at one of those when we saw an honest to God space rocket launched into the air. So this is called From the Magic Bus. From the Magic Bus, we saw Elon Musk fire his umpteenth ego phallus into space. Saw Fresno million wink.
From the beginning. Elon wasn't ready.
Does anyone else hate the fact they've got X on their phone now that Twitter's off? Anyway, other thing. From the Magic Bus, we saw Elon Musk fire his umpteenth ego phallus into space. Saw Fresno million wink hypnotised applause beneath sleepless lids from the fourth stage. Up here, in the canopy, nothing moved, nothing responded. The trees were busy with their growing. Last year's burnt stumps were searching out their roots. The bugs hummed quizzical at a necklace of bulbs above our heads, and the chili warmed on the 2-ring stove inside. We listened to the rage of a beetle lost in the dark under the makeshift deck. We watched the sky swallow and forget another rocket without pausing its shine for a beat. Thank you. This one I wrote after I went for a walk on the south coast with my dad. This is called On Ballard Down. On Ballard Down. From a certain point on Ballard Down, the world has no edge. You're balanced on a grass orb spinning on the water, and if you fell, you might roll away forever. Before the hordes of life arrive, sweating from the chain link ferry, heaving their loads up the beach, there is nothing but line, green to sea, to horizon to sky. The depth is unmeasurable without point to compare. My father turns to the vastness while he limps into the ebbing miles of our shoreline walk. My mum used to bring me here for picnics after Dad died. Some mornings I still wake up with tears in my eyes, the memory of her. And there he totters for a second, caught falling away from then, falling still, even now until the end. I feel the ground begin to give beneath me, too. Thanks. And this is the last one about an ex-girlfriend. Always a good way to end. This is called The Problems in That Photo. The problems in that photo, taken on the day I stay behind, where we filled the night before with well-meant platitudes to forgive the sin of being apart. You, stay, take the day, you've worked so hard. Me, I wouldn't be fun anyway. Then, gone. To water the loose roots of your family tree that have been stretched by death, love and social services across the southern counties. To gather them together, feed them on a walk along Brighton Beach, everyone's feet, trying to find the prints in the sand where your dad once trod, stopping again at the pier end, looking back to you to make the plan. And you reach out your hand for mine, to steady, but I'm not there. In the photo you show me, a family of smiles group around a space that I am not big enough to fill. Thanks a lot.
So instead of doing something that I normally do, I thought, you know what? I've got, you know when, alright, we'll go shopping. Anyone go shopping? Like in the market, not in the supermarkets, I mean like in the market, so fresh fruits and that. You know, yeah, you know what I mean? But sometimes what they do is they keep the fresh fruits at the back and keep bringing up the stale ones, isn't it? So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna bring up my fresh fruits today. In that I have been writing, as we all have been doing, but we're very tentative with sharing new stuff. So we sort of resort to the comfort zone. I'm going to share a new poem with you. So hence I'm reading it. So this one is called The Request. Without any further ado, I hope you enjoy what I'm about to do. The Request. Let me lay you down so I can stretch you out and watch you fall.
Why are you so rude? Walk it back, please.
Right, we need to finish the poem tonight. Right? Let me try and get through it at least.
Yo, can we check there's no kids in here? Like,
so the request.
Wait.
My request.
Is anybody below 18? Is anybody below 18? Nah, we could. You could go.
I could go. Alright, cool.
Green light.
You should have checked that first. You know what I mean?
Alright, my request.
Jesus.
I heard that. Let me lay you down so I can stretch you out and watch you fold, my loved one. Let me spread you over the surface of my taste buds so I can individually sort through your sweetness. There are parts of you I instantly taste as our eyes meet, confirmation that you are a treat. Let me balance you out. Tend to those uneven edges that you often complain about. I'm not trying to change you or them. I'm just trying to find more reasons for you to have me around. Let me stir you up. Please give me access and grant me permission to unsettle you. I know what you are given so far is far from what you would settle for. So let me stir you to awaken the substance that's within your core. Let me hold you gently but firmly, similar to the hot and cold flushes you are familiar with. The ones your body experienced when an invader's broken through its surface. Intruding, intrusive, but with this dual grip, I will keep you safe and you will be comfortable with letting go when I request it. Let me be the warmth you need, the fireplace that will increase your heat, the summer sun that you are longing to feel, the sauna that's trying to sweat out your weave. Let me be the warmth you need, the fireplace that will increase your heat, the summer sun that you are longing to feel, the sauna that's trying to sweat out your weave, the temperature you feel as I rise to the occasion because you motivate me. Let me be the heat that's a direct result of the fire that you are burning for me. Let me be the wind beneath your wings to elevate you. You don't need me to, but I would love to. Pick you up every now and again when you are tired of being put down. And you have always risen from the ashes, but let me be the extra support that will keep you soaring high above the ground. Let me be the one for you, the one whose admiration for you is somewhat biblical. In reverence to you, the way the hurt looks up at the moon and the sun, the one that falls for you, the way droplets of rain are committed to their downward pursuit of the ground, injecting revival into the hurt so it can sustain it or survival. Let me be there for you. Can I just be there for you? You will, and I will be there together, so let me be there for you. Because that childlike look plastered all over your face as the uncertainty whispers to her the certainty she wishes to soon embrace. She's a keeper, and your heart she's willing to keep in a safe space. In return, all she requires is a safe space to open up without judgment, sharing her feelings from a sunken place. Lips breaking contact with each other to release prisoners that were always begging to be free. Sharing pieces of our broken state, pieces that are now being used to build others that certainly experience, that certainly in a similar state. She's a keeper. She will never stay broken. Her pieces are the nutrients she's using to strengthen her roots as her flowers out of grace begins to bloom. My request, RVJ, thank you very much.
So this piece is called Ocean View. Men should not cry. This is what was taught to boys because tears are no longer gender neutral. They are female.
Say it again. Reload that, reload that. Reload that first off.
Close your eyes. There you go, there you go. Men should not cry. This is what is taught to boys because tears are no longer gender neutral. They are female. And boys should be boys. Because they'll grow up to be men and men need to act like men, but what is a man? I mean, it makes sense, right? A man shouldn't cry even if he is being crushed by the world. He should stiffen his lip, bite his tongue, proceed to eat a limb whilst he is limp and stand up even though he can't stand no more because crying, well, that just brings out the inner bitch. And we know that means a female dog, you see, there goes that gender again. So if I cry, not only would I be a female, but I'll be a pup. So no matter if life is burning around me, I shouldn't stay charred, not use my tears to cool down my burns because men don't cry. They simply brush it away like nothing happened. How do you brush off wounds that stitched pain? Wounds that are smoked to the fumes of depression. You see these wounds get bigger and bigger and bigger whilst my tear ducts get smaller and smaller and smaller until there is nothing but evaporated tears that mix with clouds of rain because I can't cry, so let the clouds do it for me. Because I was taught that men don't cry. I was taught that man up isn't just a phrase, it's part of your growing cycle, and to be a man you must cycle through every obstacle in life whilst restrain your complaints and calm your center because you're not a call center. Nobody needs to hear your words. Unless they're words of wisdom and how being a man means you stiffen up your shoulders because you got a burden to carry. Those complaints are simply noises that nobody can comprehend because your tears don't mean shit when you grow some balls. These womanly traits are not treats. They're bullshit ideologies passed down by society to make you believe in the perception of what a man should be. Men. Teaching men how to be men. See, now that's a complex compound phrase that has compounded toxicity into its meaning. You were born into this world crying, therefore crying is nothing but a form of communication. Crying is nothing but a feel-good chemical that can electrify even the darkest of shades. You don't need to stay sunken. You're a Titan, not the Titanic. You're not empty, you are empathy. You are not what society tells you to be because men can cry. No, men can cry out so far out that it spreads to the corners of this world that your cornea is released and cry till you're dehydrated, then hydrate yourself with smiles. Detoxify from the toxins of masculine fakery. Your tears are pools of oceans untouched. So discover what your tears mean and then translate them to words. Your tears are the antidote against toxins of masculinity, and to those that don't believe you, they were never ready to receive you. So cry. Because words get said too, you know. And men's tears are now normal form of expression. Thank you very much.
So this poem's called It's Too Deep.
Is it that kind of poem, Dux? Is it that poem, yeah?
Wait, because a few people came in. Is anybody under 18 still?
No, not that kind of level. Don't worry. I'm not RVJ.
It's PG, yeah?
Alright, don't worry, we got it. It's too deep.
Damn.
Why do you always fight my words while I tell you how beautiful you are? Hold on to these red flags if it was your religion. Suppose I was questioning your beliefs, not understanding they can change in time. You question my words like I question love. We take time, but it won't make a difference when you always fight me. Thinking that I own your insecurity when you know the answer, you refuse to accept it. I want my words to be a medicine, but I'm afraid you'll be an addict, like a drug, dealing with the fact. I want time. I'm dealing with the fact every time I want to show you the meaning of love, making an enemy of your dreams, but I'll show you reality if I killed your dreams. Maybe it's too deep for me and you. The past still holds your heart, but I'm sorry the pain that you went through. I'm not sorry that I'm trying to be your present. I don't believe I'm to blame for this, and my mouth is silent but not my experience. You continue waving your flag, but it's part of your nationality. Keep your flag, but I won't surrender until your ears receive my words. Tell me, is it too deep for you? You know we can make it work if you can let me into your world. I want to be your plus, minus all the noise. I picked the roses, your face is blue, but you never knew how much you mean to me. Is it too deep for us? Let's rise to the surface above the water and see what we can land to. That's me.
My name is Rosa Lee, and these are my poems. This one's a little bit different, so just... The ground looked rather far away. I'm sure each day it looks that way. I feel sometimes like my head's in the clouds, and I don't understand these crowds who seem to pass by in petrol and dust, consistently, constantly making a fuss about my hair, my coat, my face, my walk. What's wrong with it, I thought. But still I carry on, enjoying the grass. Oh, forgot to mention, I am a giraffe. And the next one is a little bit deeper. I like this one. Navigating through a torrent of emotions, obstructed by the tube of time, unable to make your thoughts subside. Ponder, discover a world sublime. It's hidden there, a fond tranquility locked inside your mind. And then I'll do two more. This one is called A Garden of Secrets. They say only humans have minds. So why is it when they leave the grass to grow and flowers to spread and blossom, that I return to a garden full of a new personality, wild and free, joyful and bright, dancing in the summer air? Why then is it that the ivy turns and twists around the trees, grasping and claiming them as her own? So then, you see, I think to myself, this garden has a mind of its own. And the last one is very short. I like this one. I wrote a poem to describe you. The paper was not enough, and neither was the ink. I wrote a poem to describe myself, but I was not enough.
Oh shit, I forgot my first line. What's going on? Well, that all depends. If you're really trying to be more than friends, it goes far beyond attraction and ask. Girl, I've learned from the past, but I always felt like it was common sense. It's simple. They buy likes, we buy houses. That back so big, it must take time to fit in them trousers. No need for the drama, B, you're not an actress. Dates without makeup, so I know you're not a catfish.
Bro, that is glorious.
Let's have dates without makeup, so I know you're not a catfish. This is 8 more than 92, 100. Do you really see us at 92? I hear about it every evening in love, months later they part ways. I don't think they knew the meaning. Not into beef, girl, I'm vegan, well, far from it. But if meat is what you want, who's to stop a girl from eating? I can't judge with a speck in my eye. Too often I try to stay, but I'm always leaving. I'm too good at reading. You and all your friends, trying to hide your true intentions, but I found them. Same way I see through these boys like their outfits. It's hard to square up to someone who's well-rounded. She got more. It's hard to square up to someone who's well-rounded. She got more cake than all my birthdays. Necklace lies a pendant from her birthplace. You know when you see a girl that breathes and his legs chase, the way I see it, some of y'all are not in the right headspace, but I can't lie for what it's worth though. I feel your energy. If it's meant to be, can't force it if you're meant for me. If I couldn't afford to send a check, will you still check on me? Your age is not the issue, but how old you are mentally and apparently. I'm handsome.
Yes, you are. Sexy man.
And apparently, I'm handsome. But now's not the time to give mommy a grandson. I know I do this all the time. I never call, but you know you're still on my mind, right? They told me it takes 2. So for that I can never blame you. We weren't able. They say you went for a demon, whatever the case is, I still want an angel. I'ma let you decide if it's coincidental. Either way, it's only truth on the instrumental. You can't let them know you so you give no reaction. How do you tell someone you love that they're a distraction? These days I'm never in my city, cause even when I'm in my city, I'm never in the city. With the hat off, they barely recognize me. You don't know me, stop trying to analyze me. Working on something, I might televise it. Need you to know in my absence, I'm working twice as hard. See, I'm a nice guy, but she looked at me and asked how. I roll my eyes, we can't keep going in circles, this is a NASCAR. Before we get into this, tell me what you want from this. You say I lack affection, I think you need confidence. Cause you're the issue, but you're asking what the problem is. I'm the mayor around here, so let's not get into politics. I've got something new coming. Keep saying we should do something, well then let's do something. The only reason she tells me everything, cause she knows no one else will listen. It's like somebody pressed the mute button, and I'm hardly with you. So my life is simple, cause life with you will be more Jeremy Kyle and less Jimmy Kimmel. But you disagree, and for me, that's the issue, cause you're complaining I don't miss you, but the thing is we ain't official, so what you want from me? I don't care what you think if they see this. You think I built a wall up because I don't talk about my feelings, I mean this in the best way. I need my space, know your opinion, this probably ain't about you, but ask yourself, why you feel convicted? Everything's in moderation. This talks about who's the best, but that's a different conversation. I'm just programmed different, you need a better channel. Keep hearing we need to link up, but it never happens. Trying to reach out, but to no avail. All these slow moves are just LOL. To tell the truth, they say you paranoid. To me, this is situations you can't avoid. I'm gonna get a bit deeper now. A bright mind in a dark place. I'm seconds away from heartbreak. I'm so sick of seeing mom's heart ache in the midst of a famine, but I got food for throwing a large plate. Dove in the water, swim in a shark's plate, untouched in my brain is like a high-speed car chase. Surrounded by fast girls with my heart racing. The temptation, retarded bodies and smart faces. But that ain't what I came for. That's sadly who people think I would change for. See, I'd rather bring sunshine when it's rain pour. My mind says it's game 7 when it's game 4. I'm just trying to cope with my lifestyle. Know where I wanna be, but stuck on right now. But how'd you cope when you're coming home to the lights out? Meanwhile, your closer friends are cozied up in the night cells. Enough to make you reconsider if life is worth living. No hate in the house, no food in the kitchen. See, I'm just trying to flip misery with my history. Never could think realistically that average life ain't fit for me now. And now the fall is not far from my highest ambition. A college degree is cool, but how high is tuition? It's higher than any weed will ever take you. Trust me, I tried it all, there ain't many I can't relate to. I've been at the bottom, low enough to let your problems break you. Waking up hoping this is the day you finally break through. And the statue always points when things really start to get worse. When the one I saw last week and I see lying in a box and they're asking me questions. Meanwhile, I'm just looking for answers like, did I really just lose a 9-year-old cousin to cancer? And what to say to my aunt? That it's gonna be okay. She just lost the youngest son, that type of pain don't go away. People telling her to pray, but what does a mother say? To the very God she trusted, the same one that's supposed to love her, the same one that gave her a child to care for and took it from her. And the doctor's talking to her like her son was just a number. This is pain. We're too accustomed to this feeling. I grew up in homes where water leaked through the cracks in my ceiling. People get shot while killers run through the back of my building. The future's what I look forward to, cause my past ain't appealing now. And I'ma rise. With all that pain, I can do it. And the fact that I'm still here just means I'm strong enough to do it, so gotta get my family out there, so we're missing, so impatient, cause there's so much more to life I know we're missing, but we gonna be alright. And I put that on my life. I'll be the reason y'all believe, y'all be the reason why I fight. And I know that better days might seem so far out of sight. And I hope you strap them tight, it's gonna be one hell of a flight. This is my life. Thank you.
The one, the only, our headliner, Neelofer Nova!
So I need the energy up. I need the energy up. I need every single one of you who made the effort to make it out tonight to BYOB, to come to Box Park Wembley. I need you to show me you are here. So, how are we feeling, BYOB? All right. So, my opening piece is a new piece that I wrote for Cinematic Verses, and it was an event I recently did where we did it in a cinema. So the visuals done by the one and only Metaphorest was up on the cinema screen, and one of a kind event that is now going on to other cinemas as well. So, but I'm going to do it for you because I think it's an important piece. I think a lot of us, with spoken word and poetry, we touch on mental health as a theme. And this one is, it's called Icebergs because I think we all are. We all are. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Great, how are you?
I mean, don't really bother to answer. See, because I don't actually care. It's just the everyday formality that we've chosen to bear witness to. ¿Cómo está? ¿Qué hace ho? Tico? Hello. How are you? I'm good, thanks. Okay, but how are you really? Well, it's funny you should ask because sometimes I'm so tired that I feel the force of gravity more deeply than any other time before. Like it's pulling me into the ground. And some days I really miss chivalry. Like the longing felt for a dear old friend. See, I want to send out a search party for the lost tribe of gentlemen. We're outrun. Intrepid travellers, nowhere to be found. And some days, London feels like a prison, but somehow it's also my home. Sometimes it's hard to talk. Like there are razor blades on the inside of my throat. Like my voice box has been ripped out. But I ask you, what good is a voice if you can't speak your truth? Some days feel excruciatingly lonely. See, independence is sublime until the moment you just want someone to gently stroke your head and say, it's gonna be okay. I know you laugh. Because I seem so okay to you. So strong, so resilient. If only heartbreak was funny. That although I'd never want to be anything else, being a woman is thoroughly exhausting in a world built on patriarchy. That my neck muscles are so tense it's like they're tethered to a cliff edge. Like I'm carrying the burdens of the suppressed. Buried under rocks of pressure, how being a truth teller means I make a lot of people uncomfortable, but I'm okay with that. How making choices to survive is an everyday battle, how I want all the apologies I'm owed, every last fucking one. And knowing that it won't really change where I'm at. How my tears roll down my cheeks, hot enough to scorch the earth of my face, how my smile can hide a multitude of grief, but my eyes cannot. How hard it is to let go, to ask for help, to say sorry, to breathe on some days. More importantly, how hard it is to breathe without you. See, I've witnessed God's mercy, but the dream of breaking free can take all of my energy. My soul can be gold even though my heart is heavy. They say sometimes the bullet of truth travels slow, but mine never seem to. See, I shoot my arrows of truth at close range. Visceral, yet sublimely subliminal, like an insulin needle subcutaneous, my words get under your skin. But it saddens me to see where humanity is headed, to see the kind of future that awaits our children. Did I mention I was tired? Well, that I'm proud to be brown, that I was taught to be kind, that sometimes it hurts when people take your kindness for weakness, so they told me. Raise the bar of who has access to your light. And a friend said their bar was golden now. I said, yeah? Well, then mine is forged from titanium.
Reload that.
A friend said their bar was golden now, and I said, okay, well then mine is forged from titanium. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. That paradise lies at the feet of your mother, so then tell me, where do you worship when your mother's feet no longer walk this earth? And honestly, that's just the tip of my iceberg. But yeah, other than that, how am I? I'm good. How are you? So I read a tweet a few days ago. It's not a tweet, it's now that thread thing, whatever that is. It says, don't talk at people, speak to their hearts. And that's what I'm here to do. So the next few pieces are going to be very short pieces to break it up, because the last piece is very important to me that I'm going to close with, and I'm going to need your help with that piece. But so in the middle, I just want to give you a little taste of a few little short ones. I don't really usually do short poems. I'm known for very long poems. I'm known for going over time on open mics. So I thought, okay, headline set. Let me prove I can actually do short poems, because I can, but I'm going to do a few. So yeah, one of the ones that I'm going to do for you is called True Religion. In Urdu, Nano means grandmother. There are a few different ways of saying, so Nano, Nani, Nani Jan, these are all terms of endearment for grandmother in Urdu. So just to say that, when I say that, you'll know who I'm talking about. Nano used to say, give it to God. Allah ka chhod do. And so in our house, God became all the absent fathers who had left. All the husbands who had long left their responsibilities behind. All the brothers and uncles that were never to be seen. God lived in the walls of our house, in the floors and window frames, in the kitchen that fed us. At the table where we gathered as one, God kept us. Protected us, loved us, nurtured us, raised us, disciplined us, guided us. Had expectations of us, held the broken pieces of us together like glue. All served through the hearts and hands of our mothers, our grandmothers, our sisters, our aunts, our elders. See, in our house, God was always there. God was embodied by every woman matriarch in my family. So when I get asked, are you religious? I have to answer honestly and say, well, I was raised by God's daughters, so you tell me. Next one is called Braille. I'm too smart to be acting this dumb.
Tell them.
I'm too smart to be acting this dumb. If you say the right things, will I stay? So you struck a nerve in me. Struck a match so the nerve endings frayed and splintered into a million reasons why I have no fucking tolerance left. No muscle tone to endure any more bruises, just soft flesh. Wanting to be caressed. Eased into a relaxed state where control is relinquished in safe spaces that are rarely found. Lack of common ground, so it goes separate ways. Your steps are burning holes in your shoes and through your soul. See, no one runs forever. You either run out of road or you're forced to slow down. What lies beneath tells more of the story than what we see at surface level. See, I scratch your back and you scratch mine, only you tore the flesh on my back into shreds, left the wounds open. Threw salt over your shoulder as you walked away, and yet I still took the wings from my back to give you so that you may fly. Keep pulling at the stray thread long enough and it all unravels. See, there comes a point where you have no more to give, nothing more to say, because it's all been said a million times before, and truth that falls on deaf ears eventually rips a line in the earth so deep that even the blind would feel the braille even before it's written. Thank you. How are we feeling? Everyone still with me?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to do this one because I went to Scratch Night the other night. Again, something spearheaded by Metaphorest, who's one of my favourites in this poetry community. He does a lot for everyone. And there were some really interesting conversations that came out of poets discussing their work, and we discussed things from accountability to grief to death to self-love to so many things. And one of the poets who I really respect, he said to me, "Oh, for your headline, are you going to do this piece?" And I wasn't sure, but I'm going to do it. Any garage heads in the house?
Yeah.
Come on. Inside.
So you might recognise this one. This piece is called Flowers. He'll bring you flowers in the pouring rain. Living without you is driving him insane. He'll bring you flowers in the pouring rain. Living without you is driving him insane. He's the kind of man that buys you flowers. But I mean, all he does is buy you flowers. Sends them to your work, turns up at your door with a bouquet. Sometimes They even come with a card and some chocolates. See, the bigger the bunch and the more expensive is an indication of how much you fucked up.
Facts.
But it's not to celebrate his love. And it's not really to make you happy. See, it comes with guilt and I'm sorry. It's a gesture to prove he really is a good guy. He meant well. It was a silly mistake. Well, that is until his next lie. I swear, my ex spent more on flowers than he did on household bills. He would rather let his direct debits bounce than tell an ounce of truth.
Wait, reload that.
I swear my ex spent more on flowers than he did on household bills. See, he would rather let his direct debits bounce than tell an ounce of truth. Trying to act like the big man with his generous gift of 12 dozen red roses. Empty gestures that died just as quick as the flowers did. What kind of man makes a woman feel like she doesn't want to receive flowers? Because see, she associates the knock on the door with the delivery of bad news and reminders that yet again, she gave him yet another chance. And these plasters made of petals are pretty, but they can never heal the deep wounds. Everyone at work looks at you with envy and says, oh, you're so lucky. He sends you flowers. I wish my man sent me flowers at work. He must love you so much. But what they didn't know was that what was going on behind closed doors. They don't see the circles we keep going around in until they turn into spirals of weeds and misery. So I have the urge to rip the petals off and scatter them in the bin because the vulgar display of falsehood reminds me of him and his broken promises. Did I tell you? My name is Neelofer. It means wildflower. Did I tell you that you could buy all the flowers in the world, but you never learnt to appreciate that you already had the most beautiful flower in me? You just didn't quite bank on this flower being the rose that grew from concrete. I just don't ever want you to send me flowers to say sorry. Don't use the beauty of flowers to disguise the ugliness of your intentions. Keep your flowers. Keep your apologies. If I want flowers, I'll send them to myself. With love and not regret. See, nowadays, I'm into growth, so I would rather grow plants, a yucca, a snake plant, or a money tree, than I can water, feed it, nourish it, and watch it grow. Keep it alive, watch it strive for the light, like I do. Flowers seem plastic in comparison to plants who have their roots in the ground, so don't bring me flowers when you're sorry, when you're guilty. I would rather you didn't send me flowers at all. Instead, every time you think of me, send me love and light instead. He'll bring you flowers in the pouring rain. Living without you is driving him insane. Thank you. Okay, so there's a trigger warning for the next one. It's called Brown Girl Like Me. It's been a year since one of the names, I mentioned a lot of names in this piece. Some of them are names of real people, of real incidents that have happened. The reason I share this piece is quite a difficult one because, like I said, the trigger warning is because it mentions human rights abuses, abortion, rape, honour killing. Quite hard subjects to tackle. The reason I share this piece is because these names need to be said in these spaces. Because it's not on our front door, we feel like it doesn't affect us, but trust me, if we don't stand up for these women and say their names, it will keep on happening. From the twisted ribcage of Adam, the snake always follows after the forbidden fruit. See, Eve was labelled a temptress. But I ask you, who wouldn't eat from the tree of knowledge? Eve, in Arabic, Hawa, the mother of mankind, banished from heaven for a sin, and ever since womankind has tried to recreate Eden on earth. And forever are we paying for the proverbial sin. Brown girl like me. Brown girl like me, there's no place, no country for a brown girl like me. My name is Noor. The Afghanistan Taliban have turned my homeland into a prison. My country is ruled by tyranny, and I'm not allowed to go to school. I burnt myself alive just to escape the beatings. I couldn't take the pain anymore. And now I'm debilitated, lying bandaged up, not able to move, but it's better than being abused and beaten daily. See, if I survive this, they'll try to send me back to him. I could try drinking bleach like the other girls. My name is Sonali. I was ripped from my home, stolen from my village, tricked by my own family, sold for money. Sold into sex slavery. My virginity was taken from me by force. I'm raped daily, and I'm made to stand out on the street like an item for sale. So I ask you, what's the point in my existence when no one is coming to save me? I've heard stories of women in glass windows, European red light district of pleasure, dead behind the eyes, and I wonder if they feel the same, and if anyone asks their name. Brown girl like me. Brown girl like me, no place, no country for a brown girl like me. My name is Gungubai Gathiawali. I am one of the mafia queens of Mumbai, and I tried to tie strings to the wind so that they could carry me to freedom, but instead, I was sold for 1,000 rupees. I have birthed a new version of womanhood conceived in survival, and the 4,000 women of Kamathiyapuri have to die a little every day just to live. They rely on me to fight for a shred of their dignity and their rights. So the men, they came for me, tried to kill me, and the scar runs from my stomach to my chest. My name is Shireen Abu Akhler. I was a Palestinian journalist shot in the face by Israeli armed forces. They will say that I was caught in the crossfire of Palestinian bullets, but that's not the truth. I knew I was taking a risk. How dare I? A woman exposing the truth to the world, even with the letters press written across my chest. They still shot me dead. No longer can I deliver the truth from the front lines. Brown girl like me. Brown girl like me, no woman is safe in any country, in any place. No brown girl like me. My name is Gulnar. The Imams in Iran have convinced me through shaming and gaslighting that the only life I'm worthy of living, and the only way that I can afford to eat, is to get paid for pleasure marriages, over and over again, at the whim and demand of men who want to use me. So they say the face doesn't matter, it's the body they're interested in. My name is Nadia. I no longer have the legal right to an abortion without breaking the law. It's being made illegal for me to choose what to do with my own body. So if I choose to make a choice that's right for my own mental and physical well-being and that of the unborn child, that makes me a criminal. My name is Zara. I have 3 children. I have 30 bruises, 5 of them are fresh, all of them hidden under my clothes. Because see, he's clever like that. My husband says he'll kill me and the children if I ever choose to leave him. He said he'll find me. I'm trapped. Can anyone help me? My name is Benaz. I was killed for so-called honour right here in the UK by my own family members because I chose to love a man who they did not approve of. I did nothing wrong but choose to love. And I told the police my life was in danger, but I was still raped, strangled to death, and buried in a suitcase. What fate dictates the ignorance of humans to kill for twisted notions of what they deem to be honour? Tell me, where is the honour in that? My name is Yasmin. Here in France, they call me Letterbox. I am ridiculed and ostracised for wearing a headscarf. I'm demoted to being a second-class citizen. Brown girl like me. Brown girl like me. No place, no country for a brown girl like me. Black girl like me. White girl like me. Trans girl like me. No place, no country for a brown girl like me. Thank you. Everyone cool? Everyone still with me? I know that was a heavy piece, but like I said, I think these things need to be said in spaces like this. I feel very honoured and privileged to have a platform, and I know there's a lot of women. My life could have been very different if my grandmother didn't take the steps to take the ship over to the UK. So I stand on the shoulders of those that made sacrifices before me. So that's why I feel like these women who don't have a voice, I have a duty to speak for the people that don't have a voice. So, my last piece, it's called the P word.
Yeah.
It's not what you're thinking, dirty-minded people out there. P word. I'm going to need your help with this one. So, the left, the middle, and the right. So, the left, I want you to say, maybe.
Maybe.
Middle, it's because.
It's because.
The right, I'm a Londoner.
Maybe. It's because.
I'm a Londoner. That I love London town.
Maybe. It's because.
I'm a Londoner. That I love London town. Maybe.
It's because.
I'm a Londoner. That I love. Scratch that. P A K I spells Paki. See, I'm South Asian. I'm proudly Pakistani. More specifically, my great-grandmother was born in Yabki Darwaza in Lahore, and my dad was actually born in Nairobi, but his ancestry is Kashmiri. But never mind the intricacies and specifics, it's just far easier to label us all as Paki. I speak with a South London accent. I graduated from LSE with a law degree, but I also speak fluent Urdu and Punjabi. See, I am duality. Pichi pichi ando mere chale vinda aaye chale wale ave kada aaye ve o mera longa bacha. I never learnt to make perfectly round rotis, but I do make a delicious tadka dal. You know that yellow, creamy, nourishing dish? I believe you all know it as lentils. Before Jamie Oliver told you otherwise. Go back to where you came from, Paki. You don't belong here. Go back to Paki land where you all wear towels on your head and speak funny. P A K I. Yes, I'm that Pakistani Lahori Kashmiri Puri from the land of 24 karat gold. Tablas and sitars. From the land of 1,000 colours, rich language and spices of music and song and poetry and deep history. From the morning azan to the breathtaking architecture of the Moors. From the minarets that stand tall in the sky, from the land of the crescent moon and the star, from the bustling streets of Anargali Bazaar to the mountains and lakes of Peshawar. Don't you think that our motherland calls us with every beat of our heart? where our lineage dictates the place of rich earth beneath our feet on land we actually owned. See, I came from the land of farmers, artisans, healers, alchemists, inventors, philosophers, writers, leaders of clans and villages. I am from the land of cinnamon spice that you order in your £3.25 chai latte. Of honey, mangoes, pomegranates and imbli, but I guess it's all just tamarind to you. Go back to where you came from, Paki. Oh, do you mean back to the land where my grandparents were born? The same beautiful land that you raped and pillaged and lived on like kings and queens in the time of the Raj and the exploitative British Empire? Go back home, Paki. You're just immigrants taking all our jobs. You're not from here, you're not English. But wait a minute. Check the lineage of your very own royal family and you will struggle to find English in it. I mean, if you were born here and have a British passport, you are by law and definition British. But the brown in our melanin means even technicalities won't save you because your face does not fit. Only time and time again is proven that immigrants seem to get all your jobs done.
Facts.
Don't they?
Facts. Say that again.
Only time and time again is proven that immigrants seem to get all your jobs done. Don't we? And you have the audacity to call our lands third world countries. And yet it's our civilizations that gave you the divine knowledge, resources, infrastructure, recipes, medicine and ways of life that made it possible to build your tiny island of famine and potatoes into one of the leading economies of the world. But even that is coming full circle now because the Indian and Chinese commerce are coming for you. Ever check the labels of the clothes on your back? How many times have you seen made in Bangladesh? The next time you put the kettle on to make a cuppa, you know, every time you have a minor life crisis and you say, come on, let's have a cup of tea. It'll make it all better. Remember where your precious tea comes from. And the hands that picked the tea leaves from the sun-baked fields. And no, it wasn't PG Tips. It wasn't Tetley. It wasn't Thai food. Your tea is mainly grown in Asia and Africa. Also, you can add your milk and sugar into what tastes like dishwater because you don't even know how to brew the tea properly. You keep your afternoon tea and scones. I'd rather have a proper cup of chai with the sweetness of cardamom, a heady blend of cinnamon, ginger, star anise and cloves. Oh, what a whitewashed, convenient history they portray. To put it in simpler words, they made sure they took every last resource and asset before they ripped a line in the land and called it partition. But how many bodies were taken just to line their pockets? Alright, that's enough about tea for now. To the nights of 2 AM, when you drunkenly stumble into late night chicken shops and, well, after drinking your body weight in alcohol, it's my brown brothers who stay working late to satisfy your need for hot, tasty food. And you're not telling us to go home then, are you? And you casually say, oh, boss man, give me fries with that and yeah, no onions. Only you don't say boss man in an endearing way because the irony of what you say and how you say it is loaded with the vernacular of give me what I want and do what I say. Like brown people were put on this earth to be subservient and serve the white privilege. Like no matter how much we do and how much we achieve, we will always be the jaiwalas, the butlers, the cleaners, the corner shop owners. But see, you've got it all wrong. Your entitlement means that you steal everything as your own idea when the truth is you don't have a fucking clue. Kama Sutra, ours. Kundalini Yoga, ours. Periodic fasting for detoxifying the body,
Come on, tell us.
ours. Finest silks, ours. caring for elderly family members and keeping them at home, not putting them in retirement homes. Yeah, that's us Packies. We value our elders and respect them. We're just funny like that. See, they say it takes a village, but you don't even know your neighbour. And see, like henna has been a tradition and ritual in our culture going back hundreds of years. It only became trendy when Madonna put it in one of her music videos. P, A, K, I. See, I want to tell you that P is not for Paki. P is not just for pakoras, paratas and poppadoms. P is for phenomenal, peaceful, poised perfection, patience, personable, precipitation, painting, photography, photosynthesis, party, pop music, Pythagoras rule. Okay, I'm just reading words that begin with P. My point is that Paki doesn't belong in the dictionary and the word Paki does not belong in your mouth. When you go to your local for a Ruby Murray, you don't recognise the flawless rubies of diversity, the difference between Lahori, Punjabi, Hindustani, Hyderabadi or Mirpuri, it's just all curry, right? So you go to order your Rogan Josh or Vindaloo because you like a spicy curry, and some of that naan bread and biryani, and Steve's a veggie, so we'll have the saag aloo. Please learn to elongate your A's. It's saag aloo, just like it's Pakistan, not Pakistan. And don't tell me that Paki is just an abbreviation. It's a racial slur that rolls off your tongue just as easily as terrorist. P, A, K, I. Yes, I'm that Paki who carries the legacy of my ancestry and history, who's got a vinyl collection of old school hip hop, that harbours my grandmother's sacrifice and wisdom, the Paki who has a big vocabulary, that stands proud and upright with a story to tell. You can't silence this Paki because I'm not afraid to use my voice. I'll flip your script and change the negative labels and narratives. I'm the Paki with mad rhythm and I can wind my waist with the best of them. I'm the Paki who is articulate, intelligent and assertive. I'm the Paki who's read the Bible, the Torah and the Guru Granth Sahib as well as the Quran. See, we are all el-kitab. I'm the Paki with short hair that doesn't care. Because see, the length of my hair does not determine my beauty or my worth. I'm the Paki who has learned to reclaim her power. The Paki on a mission. The Paki that walks in her queendom. See me? I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Casper, aka Gurl Winter. I've been out the game for a minute, but I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Don't waste time like that. So
Come on.
I've been hearing a lot of love and stuff, but I'm not bringing that still. Alright, so this is a kind of, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you may think you know me, but we are not the same. Our brains aren't connecting to the same brain wave. Your lips are loose and the ships are sinking. Modern day Titanic, what the hell are you thinking?
Come on.
It's hard to find like-minded individuals in a sea full of piranhas. Snapping at the bait, but who's real, who's fake? Because Chinese whispers will leave us with tisness. Who's the victim in this ongoing bitching? And when I be minding my black business, you keep trying to invest. But pay me in cash and less of the lip service.
Come on.
Can't you see that we're in a cost of living crisis? People who live for drama without the degree are scary because they crave an audience to boost their ego. Drag you through the mud and leave you there to clean yourself up. Walk away believing they're spotless, but we can see their stain from a mile away. We don't need 2020 to spot bad energy. And by bad energy, you're the foulest. Mask myself up or be at risk of contamination. They're talking about COVID again, but we should fear you. Maybe you should seek quarantine because projection has no limits and your delusion is in abundance. You're battling yourself but using us as a scapegoat. Healing is healthy and you need a full cleanse. Purge yourself of your trauma and bring it to the surface. Wash away your pain in hope that you find yourself again. Because you are a repellent and that's why your relationships stink. Ever wonder why they're not looking at you? Because they see the real you and it's damaged. No amount of flexing can disguise your true nature. So whilst you're hating on the sidelines about a girl that's pure vibes, do us a favor and look into your own life. Because you may think you know me, but we are not the same. Our brains aren't connecting to the same brain waves. Thank you.
Hey everyone, how are we?
We good.
I think this is like my 3rd time or 4th time here. So yeah, let's get into it. By the way, all the poems I've heard today are just incredible, man. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
So are you, man. Big up yourself. Big up Curry. Big up Curry. Big up. Lion, man. What's the lion war?
I wake up to the sound of birds, the sun hitting my window. Praise be to the Most High and all the women who raised me. Like rivers flowing from a source, many rivers have been named after women. Running water reflects the creative power of nature. It signifies fertility. Often, water is seen as feminine. To wash away, to regenerate, to purify, to heal. I wonder if I have a son, what will I teach him? Perhaps the fact that most rivers in India are given feminine names. Everything that is not love is searching for love. Everything that is not love is searching for love. The female body is sacred. It is a sacred space, it is divine, it is spiritual, it is indestructible. The earth, the sky, nature, all are feminine, devoted to the sacred, devoted to the Most High. And if so, if I have a son, he must be devoted to protecting the sacred, to making sure women are safe, women are loved and adored and highly respected. Raw light spills from my eyes. I've been watching Al Jazeera. Free Palestine. Free all the people who need to be freed. None of us are free unless all of us are free. None of us are free unless all of us are free. Every living thing has a voice. Lovers don't finally meet somewhere, they are in each other all along. The heart is a seat of all experiences. I watch as a bird emerges from a cracking egg. David Attenborough laughs. His heart is filled with a roaring sunbeam. This is the beginning of life. A natural curiosity inside a cave somewhere. Thank you.
Hi, like I said, it's my 2nd time, and my 1st time was actually at BYOB in Croydon. So big up Croydon, that's where I'm from.
Shout out to the south.
Shout out Croydon, shout out
to the south.
Yeah, usually I'm quite like outspoken and like talk loud and extroverted, but I thought I'd give two kind of like more quiet pieces. But back onto the topic of love. Sorry about that.
We love love.
We love.
In order to love me, you must first adore me. I must see through your eyes and into your soul, deep pools of devotion and oceans of affection. You must speak to me in the highest respect, so that all those who hear think I am royalty. See for my sanity, somewhere in between likeness and love, I need to understand that your whole heart is fully fond of me and mine at all times. You see, in order to love me, you must be able to sacrifice for me. It's not a lot to ask you to pick up when I call, because that way I know I can trust you if I ever fall. If you sacrifice your time, I'll teach you how to make it ours, I swear. Because I want us to work so badly, but I just can't give up my heart so desperately. Because in order to love me, you must become a poet. You must speak to me as Shakespeare did, with sonnets of songs I can only feel but never really understand. I want to feel your artistic infatuation like Da Vinci and his Mona Lisa. I want you to open my doors, metaphorically, literally. Love in your language and I'll teach you mine. If you promise to communicate your emotion in a dialect only the artists recognize. You see, in order to love me, you must bring me peace. You must want my way and your way to be one way. I need you to want what I want for the both of us. Because for me to leap and dive and follow you blind, I need to feel the absence of fear when you attach your hand to mine. And when your fingers brush my side, the only pressure I want to feel is in between my thighs. In order to love me, you must critique me. Call me out when I'm wrong, and I promise I'll try to hear you out regardless of my stubborn tone. We're here to grow, baby. This is not a game, this is not a show. If you just bear with me and my crippling anxiety, eventually I'll let you teach me everything that you know. In order to love me, you must require nothing from me besides reciprocal love and all of the above. See, I know that you have feelings too, so I assure you my intentions are nothing but honest. Tell me what you want, your hopes, your dreams. I promise that I will aid and abet to your needs. You see, I will be a catalyst for everything you aspire. My efforts to love you will never cease and never tire, because in order to love me, just you is all I require. My poetry page is called the Almost Poet, and I started this little series of mine called Almost Love Poems. So this one is called The Angel. I feel sort of left out. I can write of love, the love at first sight kind of love. He believes God himself sat at his bed and told him, although her wings be clipped, her skin be dark and fair, there was placed an angel. So he glanced at her again and again, wishing to be seen without being caught. This girl whom he barely knew, but his body itched for, and his mind etched for, and his soul yearned for. Slighting his head towards her, almost as if to pour his heart out in front of her and the world, following his head, his neck, and to his surprise, his chest and his waist and his legs, like he was being reeled in, unequivocal in his intent. Blind to the thought that it could be her pulling the strings, towed by her or her energy, and suddenly I feel left out. I can write of a love that goes beyond the surface and ceiling, but never of my own experience and feeling. Thank you.
I feel like I have a certain brand with my poetry. I would call it fuck off poetry, because it's quite passionate and I'm always critiquing something, and it is vulnerable, but I was saying to someone earlier, like, I'm always vulnerable at a distance, and I kind of want to be vulnerable all the way today, so I'm doing something a little softer, called Hydrate Me. So I usually give a piece of my mind, but I'm going to give a piece of my heart today.
Okay, say the word, say the word.
I have a lot of love and forgiveness. I stay understanding and considerate. So much lessons in love I've learned from this alternative. You've started showing me what it's like to eat from your full plate, but I'm going to impact your understanding of what this learner is. Lately I've been speaking to you from a dry mouth, and it's starting to faze me. I love how you've always cooled me down, but you're starting to feel a little shady. Baby, don't dehydrate me. I don't want crumbs, not after I worked for the recipe. Ask me how I feel and give me options, none of which include reality. I'm tired. Your patience to draw from my world is something I've always admired. I accommodate your schedule and world, never riot. But am I expected to just fit in? Abide by your time, feelings, availability, preferences, sporadic mind changes. Enough makeup's goodwill and time passing doesn't mean I'll dismiss your phases. I know you don't do it on purpose, and your intentions are why I'm still able to take it. But a change will be favourable. In speaking on it, I'm trying to prevent an alternative inevitable. I don't want to resent you. Not sharing those necessary words only draws a line. Regressive lines revolving around the world you are to me. And you didn't even plan it. I don't want a Pluto with you, it's something I can't manage. I had to let go of your timing so I could call you mine. Wishing that arrow Cupid shot in our two hearts, I'm free wishing our Venus is aligned. And in time, it's hard to erase the mistakes that have been engraved. Even if I can't, I won't take my eyes off the page. It can stay the same as long as we both grow in who we are. We can turn our lines of experience into surrealistic art. Picasso. Love's drug is so infectious, God's touch in excess, I'm high and your name ain't even Pablo. I understand you work to see the side of me, but not to abuse and make a mockery of it. Let's stay thirsty. Water is our sign to stay equal in this, because you say in it we weigh the same. Neglect doesn't need to pass between these waves, because a goodbye isn't in my heart. Let's keep our heads above the water and our hands intertwined so our heart, head and lifelines don't depart. I just want a change, but before I'd like for you to understand what you are. And it's beyond paying attention. And right now you're on furlough. Don't play with the extensive magnitude of love that I show. Miami can't be your thing until you decide to look into my window. I've made room for you. Within reach is your own space. Don't make me second guess whether with me it's the same case. Knowing that I'll be okay, so just not feeling unsure or guilty about making choices that could affect me. Rain check? Because I'll be your second best shelter when your first is your sense of control. Your peace in knowing that regardless of your selfish inconsistencies, my consideration is never something I won't show. How many postponed occasions till it turns into a season? My triggers are getting triggered every time they remind me of their existence reason. Got me questioning if it's bad whether to keep silent and pray or resolve with reason, but even saying God's name right now would remind me that with these accusations, I'm a hypocrite of a human being, and my pain is in vain when I treat him the same. Shame fights with integrity to return these claims. But our natural tendencies don't just mean our bad habits can persist the same. I don't want to be in your life like a checklist. I want to impact it. I want us to mutually reciprocate considerations for our differences. My chances are bubbling like an overcooked stew, and the aftertaste might just laxitatingly remind you that I do these things because I want to. And it gets to me. The fact that you only affect you when I leave. So is it my presence you appreciate or just the idea of me? Do I affect you? Because it feels a little like everything's on your terms, because my love is attempting to be humanly unconditional, and you're always calling the shots. It's paradoxical that I'm dehydrated and so drunk in love. It feels a little unfair, my heart the vulnerable protagonist in your plot. I would hate to refrain from pouring my love into your cup, and there's holes in the bottom which shows it's drenching you. It means I'm having to squeeze a drop of that same love from you. Overdosed on caring, and if I wake up, I'll be done with this. The grass is greener where you water it. You soak me up and I'll have nothing left. I'm dehydrated whilst you're well fed, understimulated, and I still give you my best. I would hate to refrain from pouring my love into your cup. I've got a thirst that needs to be quenched. And love, when it's catered for us, feels medicinal. But a lack of hydration among this chemical exchange of love between us is not nutritional.
So I titled this poem, A Love Like This. Lend me your lips to this borrowed time. Lend me your time to listen to my lips cast a space where daffodils hold your hair and we roll around summer without care. Slice solitude into two, so the meaning dies. Thoughts crescendo to a forgotten warmth like a first song. Candlelit eyes. I resurrect the sky into Van Gogh's Starry Night. We dine through and through till it's time to blow out the candles. I walk you home to the sound of silent gravel. Our shoulders sway in a sleepy comfort. As you brush against me like the perfect night, I pull your hips in like I want to see you again. Cheers. This next one is really short as well, so don't worry. I'm going to keep it super, super short. So it's called Half Moon. We have been aching to dissolve in each other's resolve. Our bodies touch today's crawling back to its cocoon as if our skin never forgets the first day we met. Sipping each other into a synergy cocktail, sweetening each other's bitters. Your smile is a half moon that sleeps. So I stay awake looking into the night that crawls under the sheets. There is so much peace in her dreamless sleep. We are all that we dream. And this is the last one. It's called Love, Love, Love. When two rivers meet, I wonder what the first wave is like. When ice melts on your skin, do you call me lover boy? Can I undress your apologies so I see your honesty, untame your thunder, lose yourself in the synergy of our energy? Come sip the cosmos with me. Let's learn each other thin. Write awareness on our unknown pages so our light gets known. I know we are meant to be because stars fall when our constellations collide. When it's only our eyes and we share the same thought. When two rivers meet, I wonder what the first wave is like. Thank you for your patience.
I have loved 3 times in my life. At least 3 times I care to admit. The first was unaware, But it did not matter, because his heart belonged to another. I hurt him in retaliation, but I still gave him my time and myself, hoping he would see me, but he never did. He taught me, you cannot force love. The second came by accident, but he did not feel the same way, at least not in the same way. I still feel the pain, like a wound that never heals. He taught me, be cautious with love. The third was a love only imagined in storybooks. He was forever in my eyes, but fate was twisted, and our love was filled with battles from the outside world. Eventually, we lost the war. He taught me, sometimes love is never enough. I sometimes think 3 times a charm, no more, but somewhere deep down, I still hold hope for you, my number 4. I hope you would teach me love can be forever. So that was my first poem. So yeah, tell me what love is. Help me girl out. Thank you. Like it's kind of like I can go home and read it. Maybe you guys can give me some great advice in there. My second poem is from a trilogy I called Lessons in Love. So it's my last one because I don't know how I'm doing time, but I feel like handing out those QR codes took a long time, so please pass it around. So my last and second poem is called Be Cautious. I am reckless with my heart. That I know. Like a child, I run carelessly, not looking at the dangers ahead. I run, free, wind blowing in my hair, willing to catch any ride, at least suitable enough. Ready for an adventure, unaware of stranger danger. Till one day, I got hurt bad. And as I wiped away my tears, I hear my inner voice, like a mother soothing her child. Be cautious with love. So yeah, that was it.